to start off by just reading a quote where Marie Christine stated, "I suffered, I strive to survive, I now thrive and live to make a difference in my generation." Marie Christine is a survivor of the Rwandan genocide, and she's a refugee advocate. She's here on behalf of the Center for Excellence in Citizenship, as well as through a connection of our great Science Department Chair, Marianne. So thank you, Marianne. But most of all, she's here to share her story, and she's a living example of an individual that embodies, executes, and delivers upon the dignity model day in, day out. So without further ado, we welcome you.
Thank you.
We're going to do a little video for you.
It was in April 1994 when the killings in Rwanda started. Over 100 days, with no place to hide, thousands fled from one of the worst atrocities in human history.
Refugees have the right to flee when there's a war in their country. How they come here, it's irrelevant. Because when you save your life, you don't know how you can save it. They just try anything they can. And then they arrive here. They took the risk because they could not afford to see their children dying in their hands.
Marie-Christine Nibagwire is a survivor of the Rwandan genocide who has made a new life in Britain. She's preparing for a trip to Italy as she's been asked to meet with refugees to tell her story of escape.
In the news, we were told that the president was killed. During that evening, someone called and said, "Your sister was killed, and make sure you try to find a way out." I started hearing shootings and screamings of neighbor being killed. The only thing I could remember was my daughter. I grabbed her. It was hard in that situation. Just think, let me move. You don't even think much. You just think of, let me escape a little bit. Maybe I'll come back. I have the chance to come back. But then as you were going and stepping on the dead bodies of people, and then also the killings continued months and months. So it was a confusion. The first thing I thought of as a mother, my daughter, where was my daughter? And I picked her up and put her in my back. So I started running. Cross countries, take every risk to see my daughter surviving. So that's how I left Rwanda. I did not think of packing up bags or luggage in that situation.
These days, Marie-Christine travels the world to raise awareness of the plight of refugees. She's travelling to Rome as she's been invited to visit Italian refugee camps so she can offer support and advice to those fleeing from conflict countries. Since 2015, an estimated 1 million have made the perilous journey to reach European shores. According to the refugee agencies, in 2017, more than 80,000 have crossed the Mediterranean by boat. And in the past few months, a further 8,000 have died at sea. Italy is bearing the brunt of the refugee crisis and is at a major crossroads. Marie-Christine has arrived at a time when hundreds of desperate refugees end up on the streets of Rome, as Italy is a gateway to reach other onward destinations in Europe.
I came to Italy to comfort the refugees who have come to the boat in desperation here. Of course, many people, they do not understand the difference between a refugee and a migrant, because people don't understand the issues of being a refugee. The people who could make it to here are not everybody. You had dreams. May God hear your dreams. May your dreams come true. It's really my prayers for you every day.
And he steps on your foot, and he didn't even say sorry to you. What will you do? What will be your reaction? It's very painful. Every one of us here, you see that he is dying inside. We are dying slowly, slowly. Let them give us the document, we leave. We are dying, we are desperate. Right now, enough is enough. Tell them that I don't know the reason why I even came to this country.
We cannot despise what we have received in these societies. I lived in refugee camps in Africa. Hold each other, strengthen each other to have peace in your mind. Do what is supposed to be done in this country. Obey the law of the land. I'm a voice for you. I will talk. That's what I dedicated my life for. So thank you for having me here. I really find joy being with teachers. And I'm I owe you, I'm here, I'm standing here because of your great work. When I was 16, I was in a boarding school, a girls' school, and we had a teacher. He was Canadian. He was teaching us religious education. And he kept on saying, when in life you face difficulties, problems, and you think you can never overcome them, you think it's hard to cope with, and you don't see in front of you, think about these words. It was French, Canadian. These three words would be important in your life. Always think about them. The three words were ceci, aussi, passera. This will also pass. Yeah? So when the genocide happened, and I was stepping on the dead bodies of my loved ones, and I was holding my daughter on my back, and I was crossing countries and being abused in many ways, raped, imprisonment, beaten up, and seeking asylum without success, crossing 4 countries without any bag, any luggage, anything. So I'm like, ceci aussi passera? Will this also pass? You know? And I kept on holding on and thinking of those 3 words. You know, this teacher, we love that teacher very much. Everything he taught us, we would take it as if, you know, we would stick it on our skin. But those 3 words, I was questioning those words. But now, I realize that it is true. Nothing is there forever. And it is really my joy to say, you know, I survived, I suffered, but that was not the end of my sentence. But now I live, and I thrive. And who am I now? Why am I here? That's always my question every time I wake up. And I remember the people I stepped on. I remember the dangers I faced. They would run in the night, because there was not much electricity. They would run in the night, and there would be a river. People would fall in the river running. So because we would be behind them, then we would realize that the river would turn. We'd go closer. I didn't fall in that way, you know. People got sick, they got dehydrated, they died, they collapsed and died, you know. So when I think of those lives, and I survived, then we lived in different camps and slums, always running. Many people were killed, even after being raped. Many people would be in prison, they died in prisons of bad conditions, unjustly. I survived. So every time I wake up, I'm like, who am I? And why am I here? So I like to talk to many people about the war and the genocide. It's not a good thing to speak on this lovely day when you're about to go home, you had a busy day, You don't want to hear about wars and killings and deaths, and, you'd like to have. But the reason why I say about it is so that we can learn what is happening. Why wars, why atrocities in our time and generation. And then also I wanted you to, and I've been sharing with your students, to learn about it, in order to confront something. If doctors do that, if they want to heal it, they have to find the root of the sickness. Yeah? Everyone wants peace. The wars, the refugees, and the terrorist attacks, the shootings in many schools. Everyone is concerned. Where will this stop? Who can stop this? So we need to understand. I teach your students, don't worry, I'm not breaking their hearts. I want them to learn what causes war based on what I learned from the genocide of Rwanda, from the people I've been working with, the refugees. I worked with the International Red Cross, I worked with for the United Nations for refugees. I've been running this organization of survivors who have gone through tremendous stuff, and for 18 years now. So I can tell you stories of people, not something I watch on television or I read in books only, the stories of people I know, cases of people I know, and then you can learn about the suffering, you can remember what the people go through when they've survived the war. Even it's not over, the war can be over, but people's wounds are still open. They can go through, some people get healed quickly, others can go through a lifetime, or others can even affect the next generation. This is what I'm facing. So we learn that, and we remember how these things can affect people's lives, and then together we can find a way to confront that. So in that, I teach peace building and atrocity prevention. When I saw this terrorist attacks in Europe, and I had come like heaven from Africa, I'm like, now, killings again in my neighborhood, I was very upset. But then like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. I felt a great sense of responsibility. I'm not going to be blaming the terrorists, I'm not going to be blaming the countries that are causing this, but what is the root of this problem? So I had to go. I went and did some studies in Switzerland on wars, terrorism, and outcome of terrorism, peace building, and atrocity prevention. I really wanted a solution, especially when I saw the shootings in school allow children to show up and allow my children. I cannot imagine what it is for a mother, for a father, to send a child to school and not be sure if the child is coming back. The stress they're living us, that is now, we are going to live on. How can we prevent that? So I went and did those studies, and my passion was to stop this fighting, to stop these wars, and I found the only way, this is my thinking, and also I was based on the triggering event that led to the genocide of Rwanda, to the Holocaust too. Hitler did not wake up one night and one morning and say, start killing overnight. The genocide of Rwanda, though they started the killing that same day on the 6th of April 1994, I realized that I got to know about it later. There were propaganda that were going beneath. There were boards and spreading of hatred that has been there. And then you think, how about my children? Are my children going to face what I face? Can we do something? So I realized the only way to prevent such kind of atrocities is to teach people the values of love. Instead of teaching, doing the propaganda of hatred and intolerance, but by teaching them the values of love, tolerance, equality, and respect for one another. And starting from the very early age, if we really want a generation and a future, peaceful future. So it has been my joy. I've had many opportunities to collaborate with many networks that work with the national school, where I met Marianne. Global Issues Network, it's a network of young people from age. Marianne?
Global Issues Network normally starts around 14.
From 14 to 20?
Yeah, actually they have a university chapter now.
Even in
so
university?
those-
Yeah. So I've had the pleasure of being invited as a keynote speaker for Global Issues Network in Europe, in Luxembourg, where more than 1,000 students will be there from different international schools. And I also had another joy of being a keynote speaker of Global Issues Network in Asia, where many schools from Asia met in Shanghai, and there were more than 3,000 students. And from there, I get a lot of invitation from those schools inviting me in their own school to teach peace building and atrocity prevention. I've been doing that, and I find it, and I'm very excited because these young people, they really want to go for it. And I thought, if drug dealers, they are doing a business that is not allowed in any country, but yet they communicate and they collaborate, and they know where to get the drugs, and they can make it, they can make business, and they make money. And it is killing people, it is killing lives. If terrorists or whatever, ISIS, they join ISIS, and the way they communicate when it's illegally, the way they make teams to destroy and kill, there is a way. Why can't we counter, why can't we make ways and communicate, now make teams that build up people, heal and restore people. So I'm really excited with these young people now. They really are for it. We are making teams of people who are looking for peace, and we are deciding to watch everything we are doing. Is your body language? Is it speaking love or hatred? Is your message, your WhatsApp, your emails, is it building up someone or is it destroying someone? And I told them it starts from there. Killing a killer is not a killer because they start cutting the head. They start by the ways they live. The life, it's like they become a lifestyle. They make it a lifestyle. And we are going to have a lifestyle of love and peace and tolerance, because this is what I was talking this afternoon. We are living in a very good time. You can be born here. Anyway, no one chose where to be born, or which color to be born with. So it is very irrelevant to abuse someone because of their colors and their race. They did not choose that. But you, who is attacking such kind of person, you are ignorant. We are living in a generation where you live here, but you want to make your life in Africa, or in Europe, or in Hungary. You want to study primary school here, then you go to continue in Hungary for university. So the world has become so small. I speak here, then I can spend the night in London. It's very easy. We communicate, there's WhatsApp, you should look for someone, you communicate with the world now. It's becoming so easy. So looking at ourselves in our own circle, it's, we are wasting our time. So I'm very, very grateful with those students I'm meeting. And the passion, the questions they're asking are very challenging. You can tell you are doing a good job, and you are raising up a generation, peaceful generation. So also, I checked in some schools, you realize that those shootings, if you observe properly, you realize that I've had the opportunity to go to Belgium, and I was with families where the neighborhood where those terrorists that bombarded Belgium were living, and I had, me being black, not being white, and also being a refugee, they were Moroccans. I was accepted. They can share their thoughts, they can share their feelings with me. There had been frustrations that had been going there, So those children who are shooting others, they don't wake up to shoot them. They must be having some behavior. If you observe them properly, they must be having some frustration. frustration that have been, there's something that have not been dealt with. So manners is very important. We have to observe manners of some students. If they are behaving in a way, there must be something going on, maybe to their family. I've done studies on children exposed to trauma. It can be not only the trauma of war or genocide, it can be a trauma of having parents being separated. You know what it is to be separated as a family? It can affect children, but the parents would go and talk to their friends on the phone, but children come to school, then sometimes they never have the opportunity to talk about it, but it affects them. Or having a family member who's suffering of cancer, whom they were very close. They may not talk about it, but they are suffering. Yeah. Or a child growing up in a dysfunctional family. How do you know if this child is not being affected by that? So they cover it, but we have to uncover it and then see why they behave the way they behave. I've also learned etiquette, I've learned manners and etiquette. Realize that without manners, without good behavior, our children, our generation, our next generation are not going anywhere. So I teach manners as well and behavior. There are some acceptable ways of living in a school, in a community, in a family. I teach, maybe it's a lost thing or maybe it's my culture, but I don't see where a child who doesn't obey the parents or the teachers, I don't see where they're going. I can't trust them to be peace builders if they can't honor the parents or the teachers or the community. You cannot trust them in a community if they don't honor the values of a family or in a school. So I teach manners and I'm very serious about that. I fight with them. I said, you can't behave like that and be a peace builder. We're heading to destroy others, we're heading to destroy the community. You have to change your manners. I am very tough on that. So when you see me speaking to children, your students, this is what I will be sharing with them. So correct me if I'm wrong or rebuke me. I'm willing to change, cooperate with you in that project of building peace and peace. Thank you very much, and I'd like to, if you have questions, I'd love to respond. I can add something. As teachers, as I mentioned, if you have seen my story, I came in England, my daughter was late for school. It was really, every parent would want your child to succeed. When I was in Rwanda, I had money and I had success and I had registered my child in the basic school that was there. It was a French school at all. So she was only 2, but they had given, make sure she would never miss a place. I registered her, I had dreams that, I remember that summer holiday in June, July 93, I was on holiday in Belgium. I remember I came with a whole suitcase of her school bag, the things, the lovely things I wanted her to go to school with, and a whole suitcase of her lovely clothes going to school with, her shoes, and they were there. So the world broke down and, everything was lost. And then we became refugees and she was late for school for 2 years because we were in places where we did not have papers and I couldn't take her to school. You can imagine the frustration I had as a mother who had those dreams for my own child. So anyway, for those who don't know how I made my way to London, I forged my way to come to London after crossing 4 African countries and being abused in many ways. And then I did not get papers allowing me to stay in Kenya. I was told to leave the country. Then I was thinking, which other African country can I go to? I couldn't find them. So I forged my way, went to Britain, wanted to go to Canada, but on fake documents. Not about particles. There's no direct flight from Africa to Canada. So in my way, I transited to Heathrow Airport in London, where I was arrested because they found out it was a fake document. I had managed to bribe everyone at the Kenya airport, from the check-in to the air hostess. I had managed to bribe them and they could let me in. But then I arrived at Heathrow Airport. I could not make it. So I was stuck, disappointed that I could not make my way to Canada. Then I had to apply for asylum. Luckily, the International Red Cross I was working with had made a report about my family and had concluded that it would be unsafe for me to go back to my country. So the British authorities considered that and I got asylum and I settled my life there. So now, we arrived in England, a country that was new to me. The culture shock, the language, the system of education was totally different. My daughter was late for school nearly 3 years. I was wondering what to do, how to help her. I mean, it was disappointing. But I have to say, the support, extra support should go to the school. I have to really, really say, you are doing a good job and you're very well be thankful for what you do. First of all, I was not able to, apart from dropping my daughter to school and try to communicate with the teacher, I didn't know what she was learning. The system of education was totally different. I didn't know how to. I would teach her in my language, in my ways, but then sometimes the character was not the same. So, but after 2 years, you'll be surprised that she did a national exam called the SATS Britain. Any British person? It's a national exam. And she got outstanding marks in maths, English, and science. They say the school in Kensington, where I live, had never had those results in the last 10 years. She was the only one who was picked to join a scheme for talented and gifted children of the city. And then after, she got a scholarship to a lovely private boarding school, which is normally for the royal families. And then later she went to Cambridge, now she's finishing her master's in Oxford. So, yes, it's for you teachers. Not for me. It's for you teachers, really. I cannot take any credit there. It's, I owe teachers a lot in that respect. Also, I have to say, there are things, because we are not children, now I can talk, mature people. I had 2 other children who were born in London, and I raised them on my own, limited means, in Kensington, an area where, in a school where all parents are aware of. I was wondering, I was struggling. I wanted my children to succeed, but I didn't have means even to pay for extra activities when you can see the children have a zeal, but I couldn't have means financially. Even as a single mother, taking one to a sport club and another one to a sport club when I don't have a car, I wanted to go, but I couldn't see how it was supposed to be. Then I decided to sit with them and talk to them. So you want this? They wanted the sport. They wanted the music. I mean, my children, they want everything. They want to do everything. They excel in math, they excel in science, but they also wanted the sports. They wanted the music. They wanted gymnastics. Things that are costly in London. So I approached the teachers. They told me, your children are talented, but they are not challenged here. So what can I do? I'm sure they can get scholarship to school, private schools that are very good. Really? He said, one teacher told me, take them to the best school you can ever imagine. I said, really? So I Googled the best school in Europe. We went to Google. Thank God for Google. And there was one school in Switzerland. I contacted them and I told them, I am a refugee. No, forget about that. The school is very expensive. It's very expensive. Then I asked them, is there any how, I wrote it to them actually, it was in writing, is there any how you can give scholarship to some students? Because they couldn't detect my accent, and I told them where I was coming. And I told them I came from England as a refugee from Rwanda and so on. They were like, you can't make it. It's hard. We haven't been given any scholarship to any child. You know, it was like, even those who have been here could not make it. Who do you think you are? No, they give us a chance. No, that the teacher kept on thinking, ask them to give you a chance. I'm sure, I believe in your children. So they did. They said, this is the last day, and it's like, come and waste your time. The way they were talking to me. I took my children, and guess what? They passed the exam, they got the top marks, and they were awarded the same scholarship in a school, and very expensive in Switzerland. And that's the place where they can do all the sports they do, they can do, everything is included. I mean, they are happy now. But that was the teacher who detected what I could not see in my children. So I love to cooperate with you, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you very much.
We have some questions?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yes.
You've been able to return to Rwanda and be part of the reconciliation process?
I went really, when I learned about the genocide, when I think of how people, friends, like my sister and her husband and her 4 children, who were killed just at the beginning. The genocide started on a Wednesday after Easter. On Easter Day, which was Sunday before, my sister and her husband had been building a very big house. We used to call it a cathedral. It was a big house. For years, they squeezed themselves. They were not buying anything until they finished that house. But that house finished, and on Easter Day, there was a housewarming party. So in Africa, that's a big thing. You know, and we were a big family. I was born in a family of 12 children. I was the youngest, and we were all married and children. So if someone has a party like this, we all come. Yeah? And when you come with your mother-in-law. You know, you come with your mother-in-law and your sister-in-law who has come to visit you. You know, you all go together. We eat, and then after we eat, we dance. It's in part of the package, dancing and all night. So friends and neighbors will be there. And one of the friends who was with us, dining with us all day and night, the one who killed them. And he loved them. It took me, I was confused. We all loved him. You know, my sister's friend would be my friend. That's how it was in our family, in our culture anyway. How could this be? And then after I met his son, who was also like a family friend, I mean, he was so happy to see us. You can imagine. Now, I'm like, did your father really know what he was doing? And then I learned some of the people were forced to kill. They were pushed to kill. They had no control. They had no way, you know. And I felt sorry for them. Do you know what it is to be forced to kill your best friend? You know, I just went beyond my pain. Just, you know, look at them. Do you know what it is to be forced or to kill your loved one by accident? Because some people are killing. It became like a civil rights to kill. You know, now a sense of compassion came across me. Not even, you know, forgiving, yes, but what can I do? It was like, how can I heal them? You know, forgiving you was okay, but how about them? There is suffering. Yes, it was my sister, but it was also their friend, their loved ones. The guilt they were suffering, the blame of everyone. No, I just wanted to reach out. So, of all the people I do, and also some people, one of the things I try to do is to, if maybe your husband has killed many and you are there, you're a refugee, and your husband maybe is in prison or person killed, you know, I try to reach out to those people too. They need support, they need love. Yeah? Yeah.
things.
You talked about that your role is to teach people to love. That's a big part of what you do.
Yes.
Do you teach people to love by giving love, or what is the process you use, or the people that you work with use?
For me, I give you my example, how I'm running. Okay, first of all, it can be very easy when becoming a refugee to feel they hate me because I'm a refugee. They're racist to me. Yeah. I've learned if they're racist, what do you think? Because they want to be racist. You know? You were not someone who was not born racist. You were all born good. Finding everyone, smiling to everyone. Not cause this person to be racist. Either he or she doesn't know you, or she doesn't see any value in you. Give the opportunity. Sometimes we blame people. Give them the opportunity. I remember 2 weeks ago I was in a plane from Germany to Latvia. There was this German boy who was 5 years old. He was sitting with his mother in the middle, and I was sitting on the side, and the mother on the other side. And this boy was asking the mother if he could just touch me and see how it feels. He had never been with any black person with him. So he just wanted to see, do I feel the way she feels if he touches him? He really wanted to touch me. And then I could see the mother was, no. Then I tell the mother, why not? Let him touch me. You know? And then we started playing, and they would take his hand, touch me, and then he wanted to see if my eye would react the way his eye is reacting. He became a girl, would touch my eye, would touch his eye. He was discovering, he has never been across a black person, and he got the opportunity to discover. You understand? I could be offended that, oh, this boy, he's a child, he's learning, give them the opportunity. So one of the things about love is also to love yourself and accept people, love people. Why do we think hatred is not something we were born with, something that comes with few people, but many people are full of love. They just want to live in harmony and in peace. But sometimes we take one bad thing, that's what we see in the news. They only show wars, all fighting. They never show messages of reconciliation. You know, the media as well does not help us. All the bad things, the killings, the films on killings are very much popular than films of love and peace and harmony, you know. So we have to choose what we want. And loving is nothing else, it's giving value to others. You know, people have so many good things in them, but most of the time we want to dig to find one small bad thing that is there and we expose it. And we have to do. When someone is about this, there is a lot of complaints in every society, but how about appreciation? Why don't we appreciate people? When my people died, my friends, my relatives, and I could not see them anymore, how much I wished I had told them how good they were. That was my pain also. You know? It is. It was. Now, I've learned a lesson. If I see something in you nice, I tell you quickly before you die. You know, I will tell you quickly. Yeah. I tell people what I see in them. If you are doing good, why can't I encourage you to do good? You know, you are doing good, tell them. You know, yeah. So loving is just adding value to someone else. Yeah. And giving what you have. It can be your time. Refuge love, it's sharing. It can be your time. It can be, when you talk about giving, everyone thinks about money. I don't have money, as if it is the only thing that has value. There's a lot of stress and depression in the West I've never seen anywhere else. Why? Because people are lonely. You become like animals. You come, you go to your home, that's it. And then you never care about anyone else. If you could just think about them. Now, you write a message, one message. There's nothing like visiting someone. There's nothing like calling someone. We hear how he's talking. You know, it should be our key importance of people, our friends, and care for them. It's very easy. And we choose to, and then they go to the hospital, you go to visit them, you spend time visiting them in the hospital. When you could have spent time visiting them when they are alive, which would make them alive and make them happy, and you can be happy together. Yeah? So I like when you go to a funeral service and you hear the words people speak about others, the people who died. Very lovely words, how they were nice, and they would never have the time. You come to the funeral, you can never take that time to go to visit them and tell them those words when they are still alive. Hypocrisy. So I think we should be making steps and teach our children how to love. That's what will change our generation and our future. So, yes.
Do you highlight community in terms of teaching love, like families and just communities in general? Because what you were saying about your sister and how big families you all come together and how communities have kind of drifted apart. I mean, we talk about building community here a lot, but do you think that that's important to bring in this aspect of showing love in terms of, like, you said with their elders?
Yeah. But before a community, you start with yourself. Start with those around you. The community, that's bigger. Start with your neighbor. Start with your classmates. Start with your colleague. Yeah, the people in your contacts. Before you have reach a community, and then you will go from there. I've had many people from here who wanted to come. They said, really want to help black people in Africa. I want you to take me in your team to visit some refugees who are in Africa. I have a heart for black people. I said, okay, do you? So do you know black people in your community? Do you have any friend of black people in your community? I said, no. Why? Why? So you want to go to Africa, come with you, to take photos and put on Facebook that you are helping, you are loving black people when you don't have any black person in your community, when you don't even communicate with them. You see? It's a skill we have to learn. Loving can be difficult, but we have to squeeze ourselves. It's like learning anything. You learn. We're in school, some students, they find it hard to learn one subject, but they make an effort because they have to learn it. It's the same as love. It's something we need in our community, in our life. We need to learn, make an effort. It's hard maybe to learn this. To some it can be hard to learn physics for me. Yeah, but yet I'm in a school and I have to learn it. We are in a journey, we are in a school. We need to learn to love. Why do people find it difficult? It's easy to hate than to love. Yeah. Love, you succeed. You hate, you fail.
It's the follow-up. So how do you learn love? What would be an example of how to learn love for those who struggle?
You make an effort. You talk in a way that will lift them up. You reach, make an effort to reach those who could not reach. Yeah. You encourage. You share. And be sharing your time with someone who needs your love. And one thing I realized that is you have more than you need. There is always someone who needs your help. And you have enough to help someone. It doesn't matter. You can have enough time, you can have even enough money to help. You may say, I don't have enough money, but what you have can help someone. But look around and learn ways you can help someone. It can be a time you can give to someone. It can be even sending a message one day. So this person is in my heart. Let me send them a message and ask how they are doing. Maybe it's lonely. Or make a phone call. Colleague, classmate, or neighbor, or a family member. You know, just an effort. But they also help you.
could help me to overcome the trauma. I had many needy refugees, and I felt I was better than them. As I was lifting up one person and I could see their lives restored, it was my joy and I felt better. I think there is a fulfillment in helping and giving to others too. There's a joy that comes with it. That's my experience. I didn't read it in a way, maybe it was written or it's not right, but I found it very, rewarding. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit, speaking of working with people in a community, talk a little bit about the women who you're working with in Kenya and the opportunity that everybody here has tomorrow?
Okay. Okay. As I mentioned, I do mentoring and counseling refugees who live in the West. Mentoring, I do a lot. I help them to integrate in the West. Mentoring also means every life. You can be eating when you come from the camp. You arrive in a car like this, full of plenty. You grab every junk you can imagine, but you don't know it's junk. As long as it's food and you feel you are blessed and you eat everything and you feed your children everything. So we realize that after 2 years that refugees have been in the West, they have now sicknesses. You realize they are becoming diabetic. They have some heart attacks because they didn't know to control what they eat. They didn't know what they eat has this kind of consequences. So you try to teach them, to accompany them in what they are doing, how they are eating, how they are raising up their children. Some raise up their children the way they used to do that back home, which is not conform to the Western norms. So we try to learn, work together and accompany them. For those who are in Africa, their needs are very different. They lack the basics, food, clothes, and there's no organization helping them. So when I went there, in Kenya, in the slums where I used to be, and I saw the children dying like insects. The mothers are there. These were mothers who were educated, who had a better life than me. And then I see myself in England. I sleep and eat. My daughter is in a good school. The children are not eating. They're not going to school. I was wondering, what can I do? So I came back to London. I started the fundraising for them to be able to get money to buy them food and clothes. But then, for how long? These people were young. These women were young. Their children now, they're teenagers, they're younger than 20 years old. They're sitting, they're doing nothing. Instead, they were being attracted to sexual immorality to be able to get money, or to gangs. They would be recruited by gangs, of drugs, any kind of, evil way. So I sat with them and I asked if there's anything they could do. They said, we wish you can do something. Women told me, someone taught us to sew, we can make clothes, but we don't have machines, we can't get materials. And young people, those young men and women, they told me, we have, we can collect rubbish bags in the slums, and we can make jewelry out of that. But we don't have money to buy the paint, to buy some kind of beads to put inside so that they can look nice in a way we can sell them. So I came back to Europe, and as I speak in different schools, I shared that. And some schools have been very helpful. There's American school in Rome, have donated some money to buy machines for those women. The British School of Belgium have given recently 15 sewing machines. And individuals say a machine, if the material to start, a machine, if you give like $300, would buy a machine and accessories, material to start for a woman, a mother of 2 children. She would make business, be able to feed her children, send them to school just for $300. So many people are donating now so that we can help those people. And also those young men and women, we try to mobilize them with work like that, with juries, and elderly people will make baskets. We are sitting there doing nothing. They can make baskets and then they can have income. And that only doesn't generate income only, but also it restores their dignity. They feel they are doing something. They feel they are useful. So that's what I've been doing. And I brought some samples of what they've done. You know, clothes like this, and some jewelries. Tomorrow I'll bring whole bag if you want to come and see and buy. They are not expensive. Any penny will go to those women and young people, those refugees I support. And also I take teams in Kenya, and I've taken some teams from the US to go to see those projects. So if one day you feel like you want to see refugees, how they live, how we can help them, you are welcome to contact me and then we can go together. Yeah.
This is kind of fitting. But Gary asked me to share this book with you, and it is a signed copy from Donna Hicks. And as I was telling you, unfortunately, Marie-Christine and Donna are going to miss each other by about 48 hours. But Marie-Christine comes to the East Coast, so we'll get her in touch with Donna.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. Thank you.